The World Pool Masters is in full swing as champions past and present battle for the 2018 title. Some big names have fallen already. Others are about to put their reputation on the line in the Mansion Bet World Pool Masters of 2018. In this unique setting, 16 of the world's best are chasing the Masters title. The opening round's underway and some of the biggest stars in the sport have made bold opening statements. The second day of competition here in Gibraltar saw two former champions clash in the opening match, Alex Pagaline and Alex Lely. Pagaline proved he'd lost none of the skill that took him to the title in 2008 as he saw off the challenge of Lely. Pagaline through to the quarter-finals where he'll face the winner of the Jason Shaw and Joshua Filler match. Plenty of names from the past to conjure with, including Earl Strickland and Shane van Boening. Van Boening set to play next. The format is simple throughout this tournament. Each match a race to 8 racks with the winner breaking. There's a 30-second shot clock in operation, but a single extension can be taken per rack. Time then for Van Boening against Peach. Commentary for this match comes from Alex Lely and Ted Lerner.
Thank you very much. Shane van Boening, the only man to ever repeat as champion in the World Pool Masters 25-year history. And this man right here, Daryl Peach, he won the World Pool Masters in 1995. That was a generation ago. And he looked just a little bit different back then. He actually had hair at the time.
He looked exactly the same, but with hair.
With hair.
Yeah. Yeah, Daryl's a dangerous player. I mean, for most people, I assume Shane van Boening is a favorite.
Yes.
But Daryl Peach, always dangerous. Former world champion. Won his title in Manila against Gomez in the final. That's a while ago.
That was in 2007 that Daryl Peach won the World 9-Ball Championship, and that is the one title that has eluded Shane van Boening. He has twice reached the final of the World 9-Ball Championship and lost. So it is Daryl Peach who wins the lag. Race to 8, winner breaks. The winner moves on to the quarterfinals.
So 1 ball down for Daryl. Continues shooting. But he's faced with a very difficult position on the 1 ball.
There's always a talk in pool about the table. That yesterday it was very damp and humid here because of all the rainstorms, and the table was subsequently playing very slow. How did it play out there in your match just a few moments ago?
Well, you know, obviously, if you're kept in the chair, it becomes harder and harder to control the cue ball, but it was a little slower than expected. So a couple of times I really tried to graze the cue ball for position, but I underhit the ball.
Always difficult. I know, doesn't matter how much of a favorite you are, if you're a two-time champion as Shane van Boening is coming out here the very first few racks of the first match on this TV table.
Yeah, it was interesting to me what he said in the interview. He said, I hope I can be confident as I used to be. But of course, you know, a player that is not in optimum form, he'll look back at times, at periods in his career when he was peaking. And it's difficult to, it can be difficult to accept that sometimes it's a little less.
Well, Daryl tried to hide the cue ball behind the 5, but it pops out. So that 1, that's a long, difficult cut on the 1.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of value to take it on. Because if he makes it, the only thing he can do after that is play a save off of the 2 ball. So if we look at the 2 and the 9, which are blocked here, you know, he can make the 1, he'll see the 2, and then he could cut the 2 ball into the 9 to keep it there and get the cue ball back up table.
Well, that was... All right, so he goes safe on that 1 ball. Well, he tried to pot it, but he did have a... He was going to play safe on the 2, but instead he leaves it open for Daryl. But again, no value in going for that one, so Peach plays safe, and that's a little bit better.
So no view on the 1 ball, he needs to hit rail first. Nicely done. He played it in such a way, playing 2 rails, that the balls would separate more coming off of the long rail. He guaranteed himself a good deflection for the cue ball. Got a good result there.
You can see nobody's in any hurry to play an aggressive offensive shot, especially with that 2 ball being married up to the 9 ball. Good safety there from Daryl.
Oh, there was a trace of right spin on the cue ball. Otherwise, on the way back, he could have hit that 1 ball off of the short rail. Now ball in hand.
3 fouls.
Daryl Peach just checking with Jason Walker if the 3 foul rule is in play. Clearly it is. He probably was 99% sure that it would be. Just wanted to make sure. With ball in hand, he is favorite to nestle that cue ball behind the 6. But not a dead favorite. I mean, he would like to also protect that 1 ball.
So 3 fouls in a row on your opponent would mean loss of rack. Yeah, look at that. Daryl Peach cannot be happy with that shot right there.
Oh, nice return safety. Missed a kiss. Funny old game, 9 ball. 15 innings, back and forth already.
Nobody wants to give an inch here, that's for sure. And again, they have yet to develop that blue 2, which you can see is right under the cue stick of Shane van Boening.
Good shot. Daryl will consider either from the short rail drawing into the ball, trying to hold his rock, or playing topspin, coming over the top to let the cue ball travel towards the other side of the table. Chose the latter. A good hit on the 1 ball.
Well, he got away with it.
Some misfortune to hit that knuckle of the side pocket.
But still nothing to a pocket for Shane van Boening, so we continue with the safeties. Oh, that's nicely. Well, does it peek out?
No.
Oh, that's well done. He'll take that.
But there's enough distance between the cue ball and the 4 to swerve or to jump.
Yeah, Peach brings out the jump cue.
I think 30–40% chance that those 3 balls, the 2, 7, and 9, will get separated.
Well, that's fortunate, isn't it? Look at that. Ends up safe. So this is just the first rack, and we have been at this about 8–9 minutes already.
Oh yeah,
we're not even off the 1 ball.
Definitely on the short list to become the longest rack in the history of the World Pool Masters.
Who will blink first?
Ooh, way too thick. Wanted that 1 ball to end near to the long rail. Now he'll find himself stuck to the 4 ball.
They continue to tussle over that yellow 1. And still the 2 ball, the blue 2, tied up with the 9 and the 7.
Oh, nice hit.
Oh, and now that may open things up a bit.
Yeah. And by opening up those 2 balls, the stakes for the fight over the 1 ball have gone up. Can avoid the scratch here. So short rail, long rail. Stay behind the 5. Gets applause for snookering on the 1 ball, but Daryl Peach
and you don't
is likely to make illegal contact with that 1. And with all those balls, the 3, the 2, the 7.
I mean, 9 ball, we do see a lot of safety battles, but not normally this long. These guys are really showing their prowess for playing safe. And that's going to leave it wide open.
Okay. Someone had to give in the end. It's Daryl Peach. Now an open shot for Shane. I don't think the 3 passes the 5. That would mean that the 2 and 3 go to the same pocket. And it does pass the 5. It's tight.
Shane van Boening loves this format, winner breaks. He doesn't even like to enter tournaments where they play alternate break. Shane's a streak player. When he gets hot, he tends to stay at the table. He likes to put racks together, string them together, 3, 4, 5 at a time while keeping his opponent in the chair. And he's a master at the break shot, so he should run out here, and then we'll get a chance to see his renowned break shot.
Yeah, he's a good breaker of the rack, but also he has a lot of knowledge. I think him and Pekka or Kolo, maybe Jason Shaw, they're the players who can read the rack the best. They know what the little gaps between certain balls mean and will do. How it will react the rack. Plays with an extension on his cue, so no trouble here to reach that shot.
So this 9-ball, finally, the first rack on the board for Shane van Boening after an extended safety battle. Shane leads it 1-0, and he will be breaking in rack number 2. And Daryl Peach has to be a bit disappointed, but still early days here. 34 years old from Blackpool, England, known as the Dazzler.
Yeah, but he's not 34.
No, that's true. No. I was reading the script.
Nice try, Daryl.
Did he put that on his player profile form?
Well, you know, he has a good sense of humor, I think.
Yours said 29, I think.
No.
There's Shane van Boening, winner of the World Pool Masters in 2014, and that was in Nottingham. And then he did it again the next year in Manchester. 2 in a row. That was the first time ever. An amazing feat here in the World Pool Masters. This is the 25th edition of this great invitational event. Now, Shane will look at the rack. You see a lot of players do this, but Shane, as Alex said, really knows what he's looking at. If he sees a few gaps here and there, he will adjust where he places the cue ball. And this is interesting, Alex. You don't often see players put the cue ball right in the middle.
Yeah, but you don't often see players with as good as a table break as Shane has. He can really power the ball here. Power the break. Ball's going to fly up at least half a meter. Oh,
there's the 9-ball.
Not
and it
that
goes.
much. But a golden break, I think, the first golden break of the tournament.
Wow. Let's see how that went in.
He likes it.
The 9 goes. He wins the rack. It was kicked by the brown 7 and the red 3. And in it goes.
Oh, but look at the action on all the balls.
Yeah,
so much movement.
Exactly. And I think, you know, we talked about how he knows how to hit the rack. And I think that action, if he can replicate that, he figures the percentages are gonna go up to make that, get the 9-ball moving. We don't often see the 9 move. Here you see that golden break in rack number 2. The 9 off the break. That's an instant winner. That came after about a 15-minute first rack where the 2 battled with safeties back and forth. So Shane said, you know what? I'm going to take the short route to this one. Now that put him up 2-0, and in rack number 3, Daryl Peach could not convert after a ball-in-hand opportunity, and that really cost him. So 3-0, Shane van Boening. Here's Shane again on the break. But this one comes up dry again.
Oh, yeah, but look at the route from the 1 to the 2. Because he has a lot of traffic to deal with. He'll go here and then he can run into the 6. If he avoids the 6, he needs to avoid landing behind the 7. Oh, excuse me. The 7, the 4. But he managed to get on the 2 ball, so that's a great shot there.
Well, it's early days in the match, but in one sense, but in a second sense, it's not, because for Daryl Peach, down 3-0 to the likes of Shane van Boening, he has got to make something happen right now. He's got to get one on the board. This is it. This is his opportunity here.
He played a good shot on the 2. He's a rhythm player. Has quite a compact cue action. Not a lot of backswing. And once he gets going, he'll fire those balls in. 4 or 5 shots played now where he landed the cue ball on a dime. Getting the extension out because he cannot breach the cue ball. Interested to see if he will bring the cue ball all the way over or land in the middle of the table to leave himself a cut. Good rack. Still 4 balls to pocket, but the hard work has been done. That actually was the first shot. Clean pot. But as we've seen so many times today and yesterday in this tournament on this Russian table, a little slower, the cue ball reaction. A little slower than what the players expect.
There's a practice table upstairs here at Victoria Stadium, and plays a lot different than this. It's sort of in an enclosed room. It's this out here. This is there's some doors that have been open from time to time. It's a lot more humid here in this part of the arena, and that has affected the TV table. It's a bit slower than the practice table.
Yeah, and the pockets are tightening up nicely as well. Balls will hang.
Well, he handled that nicely.
Yeah, not that one though. Good shot, good recovery shot by Daryl Peach, getting his first point on the board when sinking that 9 ball.
Boy, he needed that like he needs air to breathe. 3-1 now. Good job by Daryl Peach. Finally one on the board. So here on the rock, quarterfinal coming up later. Carl Boys taking on Ralph Souquet. Niels Fine, a winner over Raj Hundal, will be playing the winner of Chris Smelling and Dennis Orculio. Then the winner of this match will take on the winner of our next match, Darren Appleton and Earl Strickland. Alex Pagulayan already through, and he'll take on the winner of Jason Shaw and Joshua Filler.
Chris Melling recently won the Derby City 9-ball division, Derby City Classic 9-ball division. In this campaign, he beat Dennis Orcullo in a big match.
1 rack to 3.
So it's going to be a chance for Orcullo to redeem himself. But Chris Melling was really playing good in that tournament. Now Daryl Peach to break. He chooses to break from the long rail.
This is the more traditional spot to break from in 9-ball. Boy, those wing balls are not going anywhere near the corner. Does that have something to do with the slow conditions?
No, it's a hand-racked 9-ball rack. Hand-racked, so it's very unlikely that a player, a referee, manages to freeze all the balls. And with gaps, you know, sometimes the gaps work for the players and it'll make it easy to pocket that corner ball on the break. And sometimes, as today on this table, as it seems, it'll make it harder to pocket that wing ball, that corner ball.
unfortunately for Daryl Peach, not only dry, but an open table with no obvious problem areas.
Shane is looking good here. Smooth. Feels the speed of the table well. Although here, from the 3 to the 4, he's unhappy with the result. Not straight enough or not enough angle. I expect him to play the 7 in the side pocket. Good speed. A very costly dry break for Daryl Peach. The way this match is going, you cannot afford to leave Shane van Boening open shots on the 1.
No. A lot of players have realized that over the years, to their chagrin. So this has just been connect the dots here after a dry break from Daryl Peach. And this 9-ball puts Shane van Boening up by 3, 4-1. Winner break, so Van Boening back up at the table for the next break. And this is what led to Van Boening getting up at the table. Peach had come back from 3-0, made it 3-1, and nothing even came close to dropping.
Yeah, and I think it's Shane van Boening's knowledge that made him decide to not break from the side before. Because it's not something that I know, but maybe, or I expect Shane to know more than me about the rack. You know, this is what happens if you break dry, that 1 ball will travel towards the corner pocket and will sit up nicely.
So let's see where he breaks from now. Referee is racking the ball, so again, Shane will have a look. I think a lot of players who don't have the knowledge that Shane does will just see, make sure that the balls are touching. But Shane's actually looking for certain things, and that will determine where he places
leading by 4 racks to 1.
the cue ball, and he's going back towards the center of the table.
On his last 2 breaks, he tried to play a cut break, but it looks like he's gonna hit that 1 full-on squatting the cue ball, just playing for impact. Impact, movement, action on the balls.
8-ball down, so he will continue to shoot. Shane van Boening, one of the few American players that travels all over the world to play pool. And he's turned it into a lucrative career. He's done very well for himself. He did take off a lot of February. He spent a lot of the month. He's from South Dakota. It's very cold and frigid there, and he spent a lot of the month of February ice fishing. Safety there. He's left that open.
Yeah, and Daryl Peach, I don't know to what extent, but can cue freely. With a level cue if he plays with a little bit of left on the cue ball. Good shot.
One thing about Daryl is his stroke always seems to hold up under pressure.
Yeah, because Players with a shorter backswing, a compact follow-through, like he has, they call it to be more bulletproof.
So what's the advantage then of having a longer flowing stroke?
Flowing, more smoothness. You can deliver the ball better. More feel.
Gotta go. Nicely done.
And more cue action with a bigger stroke. In between the 6 and 9. Nice. Well, he has done excellently. At some point, not too long ago, Shane was looking like running away with the match.
Well, what Peach needs here, he should get out, make it 4-2. He's got to get something down on the break shot.
Yeah, that dry break on his last attempt definitely will have planted a seed of doubt in his head.
No. Just too much action on that cue ball. And now look.
Can't make the 7.
Extension called.
Very disappointing. Oh, wow.
Beautiful shot.
Wow, great shot.
Beautiful shot by Daryl Peach. 5-rail position on the 9. And he saves the rack.
Fantastic effort from Daryl Peach. Big confidence booster. That gets them to 4-2. And he will be breaking when we come back. There you go, a little bit of a smile. You can enjoy it now, at least for a few moments.
Welcome back to Gibraltar and the World Pool Masters. It's the opening round and Shane van Boening's up against Daryl Peach. The American in charge in this race to 8, taking full advantage of Peach's decision to push out in the 7th rack. He leads 5-2 going into the 8th rack. Earlier on, Pagaline beat Laley, and still to play Appleton against Strickland. Commentary from Alex Laley and Ted Lerner.
Earl's always talking about the rules and how you can better the sport.
Well, I learned in communication studies that over 60% or 70% of the message is non-verbal. So it doesn't matter what Earl talks about. Whenever he is talking, people sit down and they listen, they watch. He's a myth, the man. And he'll be in action later today.
Well, you hear the phrase sometimes, the man, the myth, the legend. That is Earl Strickland, and he will be playing Darren Appleton, 3-time World Champion Hall of Famer himself. The winner of this match will play the winner of that match between Appleton and Strickland. Do not miss it.
Just about far enough. He has come down with the cue ball to create an angle off of the 4. And the 7 seems to pass the 8 ball. That's for later. I'm just trying to figure out if there are worries on the table for Daryl Peach, or that he just needs to stay in line and make the balls. As we've seen so often in this tournament, the cue ball died, has fallen short at least a diamond, so he's forced to play safety now. Oh, I did the same. against Pegelein. Stroke of despair there.
Yeah, instead of playing safe, he went for it.
Despair, I mean, you can go for the bank, but it didn't seem like a well-prepared shot selection and execution thereof.
He's sensing that it could quickly, it is getting away from him quickly. And you can see the shake of the head and the look up to the rafters here. He knows he has dug himself a deep hole.
So that's it. Rack 8 is going to the American. We'll take a 6-2 lead, needing only 2 more racks to claim a place in the quarterfinals.
Shane van Boening does not let you off the hook too often. When you make mistakes, he pounces. And we see 3 dry breaks from van Boening. And break and win the rack. Well, van Boening 3 and Peach 0. And 2 fouls from van Boening. So really, it's if you add that all up, it's Daryl Peach who's just had one too many mistakes at the wrong time. And as usual, Shane van Boening pounces.
Rack 9, Shane van Boening to break. Shane van Boening leading by 6 racks to 2.
Yeah, it's all about position.
Now here he moves the cue ball a little bit further to the other side. Oh, he's got a ball down.
Very risky way to break the balls there. Cutting the 1 ball and then with so much speed. Because the speed will make the cue ball go airborne, just by a little. But if you hit that 1 ball only 70–80% full, the cue ball then slides off of the 1 ball, jumping. But it has paid dividends, so.
Yes, he's got a shot here on the yellow 1. This angle should get him over to the 2. Just like that.
So Shane has shown us what his plan is. He has already looked at how he wants to come into the 4 ball. If he goes towards the 3rd diamond where his arm is, where his left arm is, get to the 2nd rail there, come out 1 diamond, always good on the 4 ball. Now the next problem will be the 6, because the 6 only goes to the right. So he needs a almost perfect position on the 5. Beautiful. Oh, a little too far. Now we've seen that 6 ball still goes to the side pocket.
That's what he's looking at there.
So rather that, a very compact shot selection, than to travel with the cue ball, trying to get on the left side of the 6.
Extension called.
That's perfect. It's tight to the side pocket. One ball to the left, one ball to the right. It would be an ugly shot, but with this position, it's well doable.
We often see players struggle a bit in their first match out here on the TV table. He's had a few errors, Shane, but overall, you'd have to give him a very high grade. He looks very comfortable, shooting smooth. He's taken advantage of every mistake from Peach, and that's why he is now up 7-2. So one away from a spot in the quarterfinals.
Welcome back to the World Pool Masters, and in this first round match, Shane van Boening's been in charge from start to finish. He's now just one rack away from a place in the quarterfinals. Daryl Peach has yet to find an answer to the American. This is now the 10th rack, Van Boening to break.
Here we see actually happen what I mentioned before, the risk of playing a cut break with so much speed. It's very difficult to control the cue ball. Almost flew off the table, and then after that almost flew in the pocket.
Push up called.
So
Playing a push.
Daryl calls a push out. Now, tell our viewers who may not be familiar with the push out exactly, you know, what might be going through his mind pushing the cue ball over there. He's given him a look.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, if there's a makeable shot, but you don't give your opponent an easy pot. Secondary, if it's an easy safety. Is there an easy safety to play? And then thirdly, how much damage can your opponent do by playing that safety? So how much risk do you run giving him the opportunity to play a safety? What you try to do is give him actually nothing. So a difficult shot where it's difficult to gain something.
So Shane could have handed that shot back to Peach, but he decides to take it on. Now, can Daryl pot the one? I don't think so.
I don't think he can. And what Shane did, even though it was a difficult position to find a solution, even though what he tried was very hard, he rode his luck. He rode his luck, knowing that with the 8 ball, the 9, the 4, the 6 down table, he would have a big chance to hide behind one of those trees. That is also percentage play. To know when to take a calculated risk.
Oh, he tried to use that wall of 3 balls there to hide the one, but it pops out into the gap.
Well, he can hide the cue ball behind the 6, but it's difficult and dangerous because he cannot defend the 1 ball. He looked like really loading up that stroke, so... Okay, so in the end he played that nifty little roll shot. So a snooker. Peach can jump, Peach can kick. playing rail first. But with the ball positions, and especially the 4-9-6 and the 5-7 on the other side of the table, a big chance to resave here.
Not like that.
Not like that. I think he underhit the stroke there.
Daryl Peach certainly feeling dejected at this point. Oh, nice touch there from Shane van Boening. Is that the shot that closes out the match?
Well, the shot on the 3, from the 3 to the 4-6 combination.
Yeah.
That's the shot that can close out the match. And after the 3, we can assess if he's going to close it out in this inning, or if he'll try to put the handcuffs on Daryl Peach.
And as Alex said, this is the shot here.
Yes, it's a good enough position. He'll attack. If he plays it softer going into the short rail to bump the 9, that's possible. Or play low right, go in between the 8 and 9, 2 rails and out to where he is now. Personal preference.
Oh, so nicely done there. What a touch.
Yeah, he's looking good. What a matchup would that be? A possible matchup. Shane against Earl. Or even Shane against Darren.
Yeah. Just keeps getting better and better here at the World Pool Masters. Every match is one you've just got to see. Must-see TV.
Must-see TV, yeah. Yeah, it's a beautiful lineup. Niels, Boyes, Pegalion, Souquet,
Shaw,
Appleton,
Strickland, Filler, or Coolio.
Wow, Jason Shaw against Joshua
Melling.
Filler. Melling will be in action.
He's fun to watch.
So Chris Melling in the back. Following the action, he'll be on tonight. Up against Dennis Orcollo. Now to the long rail, he'll punch the 7 in. And this has been a very fine performance for Shane van Boening.
Yes, indeed, and a forgettable performance from Daryl Peach. He'll be the first to admit it. Not his best effort. And Shane van Boening just pounced on every single error from Daryl. This 9 right here. 8-2. Shane van Boening takes it over Daryl Peach. And he moves into the quarterfinals here at the Manson Bet World Pool Masters.
Quarterfinal spots starting to fill up. Earlier on, we saw Carl Boyes through after beating the defending champion David Al-Kaidi. Ralph Souquet opened the tournament with a win over Karol Skaversky, and Niels Fine is through after an 8-2 win over Raj Hundal. In the bottom half of the draw, it's Alex Pagulayan who's through to the quarterfinals after his win over Alex Lely. Shane van Boening now joins him. Still to play Strickland and Appleton, along with Shaw and Filler, all chasing the Mansion Bet World Pool Masters title of 2018.